Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Holy moly, it's literally the most successful launch of all times. This coming from Eric Balchunas, and he was talking about the Bitcoin ETFs. He says these products have two things that you need for foundational ETF category growth: volume and low fees, guys, and this is exactly how the institutional money is going to come flowing in. Those are the two most important things for the fishes to come and bite: institutions like volume, advisors like low fees. This courtesy of XRP drops here, guys. We're hearing from more and more of these pundits and analysts all saying the same thing.
If you isolate the newborn 9 away from GBTC, anyone and their mother would be like, holy moly. I mean, it's literally the most successful launch of all time. I mean, let's say there's 20 stats you could use. This would be 15, it would be number one on 15 categories. The momentum these things have early on is very positive. And you know, the BlackRock's got advertising campaigns. Larry Fink is out there saying this is a new asset class. Fidelity is involved. I mean, that's all you have to do is just sort of trust behind these people who have strong reputations for successful products. Give it time. And these products already have two things that you need for foundational ETF category growth: volume and low fees. Those are the two most important things for the fish to come bite. So institutions like volume, advisors like low fees, and they each both like some of the other. They have both in spades. So the stage is set. The wholesalers are going to do their thing and just wait. So anybody out there with the underwhelming take, I just think is going to look like an idiot. Somebody asked me earlier in an interview how many of these will be here next year. I think all 11.
So the other thing he says here is that he thinks all 11 of these will be here next year. So none of them are really going to fail, at least according to Eric Balchunas. And Bitcoin, guys, is performing. We have not seen Bitcoin waver either. Right now, we're seeing Bitcoin still hovering above that level of support down here. That level where, if we do see Bitcoin break below 50,600, we could see some more downward pressure, bringing alts down with it. But yesterday I was kind of surprised. I was thinking to myself, we're seeing these lower lows here. And, I was thinking we could, and I mean, technically we still could go down. We are still technically seeing lower lows, but I was kind of surprised when I saw this move to the upside. But now the trend faltering yet again. So again, we can't always look at it on the 1 hour. We have been, looking at the crypto trends on the shorter time frames as of late, just because we have seen some excitement in the crypto space. If you zoom out, though, Bitcoin trend looking very, very positive. We are forming what is looking like a pennant pattern. Of course, we're going to see Bitcoin move to the upside. We have not even reached all-time high yet. So, guys, once we get up here, that is the point, I think, when the market's really going to start paying attention, when institutional money is going to start paying attention. Retail traders, pretty much everybody, once Bitcoin does reach that new all-time high, you can bet that we'll probably hear about it on mainstream media. But right now, for the small time, for the small trades, the swing trades, perhaps the day trades, we're just looking at this trend on the shorter time frame, thinking to ourselves, up, down. Well, that's for the day traders to worry about. Really, that's not me. Greed is at 72. We're seeing fear and greed kind of stay put here. We're not seeing too much movement. The market cap has moved down a little bit, $1.98 trillion. But 24-hour volume is up 15.1%. Bitcoin dominance slipping a little bit, but not by much. You guys can see even down here, we're not seeing a lot of movement for any cryptocurrencies, really. A little bit of red, a little bit of green throughout the board. But, we're not really seeing any big moves one way or another. We're seeing some coins up, some coins down. This is par for the course for this time in the bull run, especially when Bitcoin's just kind of sitting here, hovering, chilling out. We're seeing the XRP price go down a little bit. And I know on the 1 hour chart, it does not look so good. XRP trading just under 53 cents as of the time of this recording. But again, guys, when in doubt, zoom out. Wasn't going to put it on the weekly, but I guess we can look at it on the weekly because the same thing checks out here. Weekly trend for XRP. You guys can see here, trend still holding up very, very strong. So trend still moving to the upside. We're not really breaking that trend line. A 52, 53, 54 cent XRP, whatever it is really small potatoes when it comes down to it. The big money that we're going to see flow into crypto and that big push to the upside that we're going to see for the rest of the coins that have not popped yet. Another prediction here, guys, from Mark Yusko. This is quite the prediction. And I agree that this time it is different. This coming from Lyle Pratt here on Twitter. He says, and this is the quote, "I believe this year in 2024, more money will be converted from fiat to Bitcoin than the previous 15 years of Bitcoin's existence."
I believe this year in 2024, which, by the way, is the first year of this epic, the blockchain era, the truth net, as I call it, I believe more money will be converted from fiat to Bitcoin than the previous 15 years of Bitcoin's existence.
So think about that for a second. This year alone, 2024, we're going to see more money being converted from fiat into Bitcoin than the previous 15 years total of Bitcoin's existence. Think about that for a second. Think about all that institutional money. This is what we've been talking about, the institutional inflows coming in, bringing up prices. Of course, by extension, bringing up the rest of the crypto market for coins that have not moved yet. On top of which, we're also seeing signs that Bitcoin outflows are slowing down for products like Grayscale's GBTC. They posted $44.2 million in withdrawals on February the 23rd, marking its lowest daily volume since transitioning to an ETF. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has seen outflows reach their lowest point over the past few days, signaling a slowdown in withdrawal volumes. According to data from BitMEX Research, GBTC had withdrawals of $44.2 million on February the 23rd, the lowest daily volume since its conversion on January the 11th. From over-the-counter products to the exchange-traded fund, the ETF. By the end of January, GBTC reported withdrawals totaling $5.64 billion, with a significant $640 million exiting on January the 22nd alone. February has seen a decline in outflows, though, amounting to $1.8 billion so far. Since its inception, GBTC has witnessed a total withdrawal of $7.4 billion. So Grayscale did transition to the ETF. This is why we're seeing money come out of the GBTC, but that has even slowed down too. So it's looking as though, the money is already coming into these ETFs. A lot of institutions, I'm sure, did capitalize on that downturn. Let's throw Bitcoin back on the daily here. When we did see this downturn here, and we pretty much pinpointed it to the to the top when the ETFs were approved. Then we saw the market come down about 20% or so. Bitcoin price specifically did come down roughly 21.5%, give or take. But let's say average about 20%. This is when a lot of those outflows took place and came into the ETF. So one last ditch effort to get some money into Bitcoin. And, companies like BlackRock, their IBIT product has amassed over $6.6 billion, not million, $1 billion in investment since launching, followed by Fidelity's FBTC, and that was $4.7 billion in capital. The third position is held by ARC21 shares with inflows of $1.4 billion over the same period. So more information here. I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. Remember, guys, the bottom never feels like the bottom, and the same is true for the top. The fear will be overflowing from a single media source telling you it's over and never coming back. This coming from Nick. Remember when he posted this? I don't know how many of you guys remember this, from November 2022. Let's remember November 2022. That was in and around here. That was the fear, the doom, the gloom, the FTX collapse. Okay, this is when the bottom was in. And at that time, he was saying the media is bearish, tell you to withdraw while you can. The entire community is filled with fear and panic. The market has been demolished in the last week. But what they won't tell you is that CPI was bullish and the DXY has been crashing while panic continues. Guys, it was all distractions then. And so he just wants to bring this to our attention because we do have to, sometimes as newbie traders recalibrate. Distractions will be everywhere at that time as well. But if you see past all the noise and look at what matters, you will be rewarded. This post was from November the 12th, 2022, and buys in the market are now in significant profit, and you essentially bought the bottom or close to it. Learn from this. Understand how emotions play against you winning big. The big thing to focus on now is the opposite, being fearful when the market is flooding with greed. And he does bring up a good point here. We are not there yet, guys, but soon we will be there when mainstream media is screaming buy and all your friends and family are asking about cryptocurrencies. So we aren't there yet. We are getting close. You can see greed again at 72, but nowhere near the top. Bitcoin has not even matched its all-time high yet. So looking forward to the euphoria phase again. This time it's going to be different. Robin Sear here, bringing us some words of wisdom. If you do still have your cryptocurrency on an exchange and it's gone, you will get hacked, rugged, or scammed. He posted a little story here for somebody who had their Bitcoin on Binance. And now it's no longer there. I never thought this could happen to me, yet it did. I must have clicked on some link or spam or whatever. Someone got a hold of my email account just like that. They took control of my cryptocurrency, even though he had two-factor authentication. So guys, make sure you do have your cryptocurrency safe on a Ledger Nano or something similar. I do have an affiliate link in the description of the video. I always put it in the description of the video for those of you guys who are interested. However, I am going to be giving away, check that out, guys. We're already at 99,829 subscribers, but I'm trying to hit 100,000. And I'm going to be giving away two lucky subscribers who have, in fact, subscribed to the channel. So you have to be subscribed to win. I'm going to be giving away a Ledger Nano X worth $149 and a Ledger Nano S as well worth $79. Both very, very great products. But you do have to be subscribed to win, so please subscribe. We're trying to hit 100,000 by March the 31st. And I think we've been doing very, very well so far. So wanted to thank everybody who has subscribed recently. And of course, all my subscribers for supporting the channel. Want to keep moving, guys. XRP community. What the Ripple SEC remedies phase is really all about. This, courtesy of Ashley Prosper here, a successful claim on all of those sales would contribute significantly to making 2024 the best fiscal year for the SEC. So no wonder they don't want to let this go easily. Ashley Prosper has noticed something here. Institutional sales are worth about $4.9 billion. That was the approximate amount of XRP sold and distributed. So this is the last contention point here. You can see why the SEC is still like a dog with a bone. They need funding. They need revenue. And so how do they go about this? Well, fraudulent lawsuits. Potential dumb question here coming from Blue Sky. How much was sold inside the US? And is that how we determine what was sold as an unregistered security? I'm trying to visualize a big fine or a little fine. Any help would be appreciated. And Ashley Prosper just responds here. I guess we will see what the SEC thinks it has claim on come March the 13th. So that is coming very soon in a few weeks. Jeroen here saying Ashley Prosper, were all those institutional sales in the US or all these global with other countries included? And again, Ashley just responding, I think it's everything as this was when they brought on the lawsuit. So we still don't know what that final total is going to be. But we are going to sit and wait with bated breath. Wanted to thank Ashley Prosper for that, guys. Another one here from Michael Branch. Billionaire investor Mike Novogratz believes many of the lawsuits brought on by the SEC, though, will be dropped. So this just coming out from Mike Novogratz. He doesn't think that Gary Gensler stands a chance. In a recent interview with Forbes, Novogratz highlights the inconsistencies in the SEC's approach to regulating crypto assets, referencing the recent legal battle over a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund. He pointed out to the courts and criticized the SEC for denying a spot Bitcoin ETF while allowing futures ETFs, exposing the illogical reasoning behind the decision. The crypto veteran said that regardless of the political affiliation of the next SEC chairperson, there's a likelihood that many of the lawsuits initiated under Gary Gensler's tenure will be dropped. Here's what he said. Okay, looking ahead, regardless of the political affiliation of the next SEC chairperson, there's the likelihood that many of the lawsuits initiated by Gensler will be dropped. This reflects the growing recognition of the inevitability of crypto's integration into the financial system. This is not a political left or right issue. Cryptocurrency is here for the financial system for all. And again, when political parties make it about something and then, the other side makes it about something else, it kind of gets confusing, I think, for people, because I think people need to feel like they have to take sides. But really, crypto is good for everybody. I still don't get why people don't understand this. However, he also noted that ongoing challenges of regulatory uncertainty surrounding the classification of digital assets as securities or commodities. The outdated Howey test design for traditional securities fails to adequately address complexities of blockchain tech. So that's another point there. Crypto Eddie also commented President Biden and the Democrats in Congress should consider appointing a new chair to restore the SEC's integrity with a balanced, reliable chairman. Maybe these lawsuits will be dropped. I mean, so many factors at play here. I think, in a lot of cases, these, the judges are not really too happy with the SEC. So maybe the SEC might try to save some face, maybe some dollars, and say, okay, maybe we will step back from some of these cases, especially if, they cannot set a good precedent for themselves moving forward. But it's interesting, as we're seeing more clarity in other countries as well, we're going to get more and more pushback, I think. The SEC is going to have less and less of a leg to stand on. And, we're already seeing this now, and especially if Gary Gensler leaves. I think, having Gary Gensler at the helm was a big, big mistake for the SEC. And once he leaves, whoever is going to replace him, and this is just my thoughts, whoever's going to replace him is going to want to do it different, 100%. I don't think anybody's going to come in and be like, Gary Gensler did a good job, and I'm going to continue, doing his work. No, I don't think that that's going to happen. I think whoever we get next, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, I think they're going to want to do things differently to separate themselves from the former administration over there at the SEC. Anyway, I wanted to keep moving along, but wanted to thank Michael Branch for posting that. Chad Steingraber here also bringing this up, with the BRIC Summit. And the next one coming up in October. It's looking as though a record amount of countries are now looking to join the BRICS alliance. A handful of developing countries are preparing to join the BRICS in 2024. Developing countries from Asia and global South Africa and even Europe are considering securing a spot in the BRICS this year. The upcoming BRICS Summit will be held in October of this year in Russia. The 16th Summit will see a new influx of applications from countries that are preparing to join BRICS this year. So a record number of countries now looking to join the BRICS. Can you imagine it was only 5 countries at one point? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And now it is a multitude of countries wanting to band together to inadvertently, nobody wants to kind of say it outright, but inadvertently debase the US dollar, looking to trade in and amongst themselves, but without that US dollar stranglehold. Of course, adopting DLT technology, this is what's really going to help the BRICS nations achieve this, and they're already doing this. This development indicates that developing countries trust the alliance and want to distance themselves from the US dollar. The spiraling debt of $34 trillion is a burden to developing countries that hold billions in US dollar reserves. So, again, we're seeing the face of finance change, and this is not just technologically, but it is globally. Just, who is interested in trading with who and what the rules are going to be moving forward. Developing nations are aiming to reduce the risk of debt by putting their local currencies first in trade. Vladimir Putin mentioned it in the Tucker Carlson interview. If you guys didn't catch that, I do suggest you watch it. Unfortunately, I do not have the tab up here, but I'm sure you can Google it and find it. But, the BRICS nations also looking to change the face of finance and inadvertently using DLT technology like the XRP ledger in order to do just that. Using their own currencies, that's essentially, the easiest method to do it. And when you have a cryptocurrency like XRP working for you in the background, you don't even have to think about the conversion. It just, boom, happens just like that. The other thing, too, is there's already a lot of evidence suggesting that countries like Russia, Russia's already been testing the XRP ledger, for example, but other countries, too, within the BRICS nations, there are confirmed partnerships with Ripple and a lot of those central banks. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works moving forward. Wanted to thank Chad for pointing that out. The Wrath of Kahneman guys also bringing this to our attention. The new hackathon winner, XRP solvency, is a solution that employs zero-knowledge proofs testified to by an NFT. Very, very clever. So giving you guys some background here, XRP solvency enhanced privacy proof solvency. In an increasingly connected blockchain ecosystem, it becomes difficult to unite your on-chain activity from your identity. Discover the ring signatures technology. And so there's a little YouTube video here if you guys want to check that out. I will link this in the description. Just going to give you guys the executive summary here. XRP solvency is a solution that addresses the growing needs for privacy in the blockchain ecosystem by providing a means for individuals and businesses to prove solvency without revealing their wallet address or transaction history. This is achieved through the use of cryptographic ring signature technology and other cryptographic means to generate verifiable solvency proofs at a specific point in time. The solution is designed for individuals who value their privacy while transacting on blockchain platforms, which I'm sure a lot of people want to do. You might not want to actually reveal your address because, anybody can look it up and see what your balance of your XRP is or your Bitcoin or whatever it is. So, this privacy feature, I think, is going to benefit a lot of people. A lot of people are probably looking forward to it. Continues down here by saying, and it offers a unique value proposition by allowing users to prove solvency without compromising their privacy. Businesses can also benefit from the solution through use cases we will detail below. So gives a very, very lengthy description here of the problem and how they are going to solve this problem in steps. Step 1, 2, 3, all down here. I will link this again in the description of the video for you guys. It's kind of funny, though, that finance requires anonymity coming from the Wrath of Kahneman and permanent ID or DID at the same time. It points to how much trust banks actually do hold. So very interesting, and another iteration here on the XRP ledger for privacy. And knowing that people do want this privacy, of course, XRP solvency is, sounds like a pretty good solution for just that. So I wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for pointing that out. The XRP, guys, has been created for cross-border transactions, transforming the financial landscape. And although more use cases are going to be delivered over the XRP ledger, which is going to be great for us because of XRP utility and price appreciation, once we see more demand for XRP, I think the theory goes as such, the conspiracy theory is that it was actually created for the big banking system. And that, one theory suggests that Bitcoin was put out as an experiment by the government. Guys, here is some more evidence Going deeper down the rabbit hole, Ito Farina posted this, okay, some great research here by Ito Farina, the Economist cover unveiled a long line of bankers that founded Ripple. And I mean, I think you guys know what I'm talking about here, this Economist article from 1988. A new world reserve currency, the old system will burn, and the phoenix will rise from the ashes. Coincidentally, and I think this is just a coincidence, just today, Lord Jacob Rothschild, financier, dies at the age of 87. Yeah, this guy that I used to put on the thumbnails with the tinfoil hat, he is now deceased. But guys, Ito Farina has discovered something very, very interesting. In my previous thread, we learned that Ripple's history began way before Bitcoin. In fact, Ryan Fugger founded Ripple Pay in 2004, which owns the trademark Ripple Communications, and that was traced back as early as 1991, with Ryan Fugger being a member. For more insights on Ripple's origins tied to the INSA, you can check it in his highlights. Ryan Fugger descends from a long line of bankers, so I did not know this. The Fugger family controlled much of the European economy in the 16th century and accumulated enormous wealth. Jacob Fugger was also known as the richest man who ever lived. Jacob Fugger the Rich was elevated to nobility of the Roman Holy Empire in May of 1511 and assumed the title Imperial Count of Kitchberg and Wisserhorn in 1514. From the 13th to 16th century, the merchant banks of the Fugger family had branches located throughout Europe to finance foreign trade. So what he is saying here, the Economist guys owned by the Rothschild, goes back to the Fugger family. House of Fugger, prominent group of European bankers. The Fugger family controlled much of the European economy in the 16th century and accumulated enormous wealth. You guys can see their coat of arms there. Also, German states Fugger, the phoenix there. You can also see that fleur de lis on there. On top of which, here's another close-up of that. And here, the richest man who ever lived, Jacob Fugger, the life and times of Jacob Fugger. And guys, who was the one responsible for creating the original RippleNet? Ripple Pay, the original creator of Ripple, was in fact Ryan Fugger. So is this a coincidence, or is there a deeper tie to the Fugger family? The world of banking, RippleNet, XRP, and the Phoenix Economist cover in 1988. There is so much to uncover here, guys. I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg and a whole new revelation that links Ripple and XRP to the world of banking, the Rothschilds, and other influential banking families. Which brings me back to the price of XRP, guys, 53 cents. This is not what it was created for. That is just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. We're getting so close. 100,000 is the target, and I will be giving away 2 Ledger Nanos. So please subscribe if you have not already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.